Hey everybody, welcome to episode 194 of Is This Thing Working? Good morning over there, Denise. How you doing?
I am doing awesome today on this Monday.
Yep.
Yes, I'm glad to be here with you, everybody, today.
I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope you got all rested up for your upcoming work week, man. We're 1 week closer to November the 5th, which is what we've been reporting on daily and getting everybody ready, man. And we've had some great things happen over the weekend as far as the people are concerned and as far as us as a country and a group of people finally beginning to see things the same and figure out, damn, the media is full of shit. We do have a lot more in common than we think. And if we would just come together and stop the screaming and the cussing and the hollering at each other, if we would just come together and quit calling each other names, just come together and go, hey man, I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your sexual preference is. I don't care what any of those things are. You've got yours. I respect that. I've got mine. Please respect me. Let's come together as a people, and let's come together to do what? Make America great again. Come together to make our country great again. Come together to make our people great again. And we got a big, long road ahead of us, but I believe we're making progress. We're making tracks daily, man, and this is exciting for us, man.
Yeah, the UNIPARTY is out there trying to knock us down every way they can. They realize that MAGA is on the rise, and the MAGA is the people. It's all about the American people. It's not about party any longer. The UNIPARTY over here is the people that don't want you in charge.
That's exactly right. And even when you say, like, it's not about party, and then we call them a UNIPARTY, here's my approach to it from here on out. I mean, you can do what you want, but this is going to be my approach from here on out. It's not a D and an R issue any longer. Listen, people, it's not a D and R issue any longer. This is a people versus the establishment. The people that are in charge, the unelected people that are in charge, the people that were appointed that are abusing their power that they have. These people are who we're battling. These are our enemy. These are the people that are our enemy. And I'm going to leave it right there for right now.
I will say this. We're going to talk about that. We're going to delve deeper into who is the enemy. But before we do that, we would be remiss by not honoring the 3rd anniversary of Abdiqate, the horrible Afghanistan withdrawal. So we're going to take a moment. We're going to take a moment and we're going to let you listen to all 13 names that were lost during the Afghanistan withdrawal. Do it. Just do it. Here are the names of the 13 U.S. service members killed in Afghanistan. There were 11 Marines, 1 Navy corpsman, and 1 soldier who were killed as a result of an enemy attack while supporting non-combatant evacuation operations.
Okay, so from the Marine Corps was Sergeant Johanny Rosario Pichardo, 25 of Lawrence, Massachusetts, assigned to the 5th Marine Expeditionary Brigade Naval Support Activity, Bahrain. Sergeant Nicole L.G., 23 of Sacramento, California, assigned to the Combat Logistics Battalion 24, 24th Marine Expeditionary Unit, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Staff Sergeant Darren T. Hoover, 31 of Salt Lake City, Utah. Corporal Hunter Lopez, 22 of Indio, California, a rifleman. Corporal Dagan Page, 23 of Omaha, Nebraska, a rifleman. Corporal Humberto Sanchez, 22 of Logansport, Indiana, a rifleman. Lance Corporal David Espinosa, 20 of Rio Bravo, Texas, a rifleman. Lance Corporal Jared M. Schmitz, 20 of St. Charles, Missouri, a rifleman. Lance Corporal Riley J. McCullum, 20 of Jackson, Wyoming, a rifleman. Lance Corporal Dylan R. Marola, 20 of Rancho Cucamonga, California, a rifleman. Lance Corporal Kareem M. Naku, 20 of Norco, California. Navy Corpsman Maxton Soviak, 22 of Berlin Heights, Ohio, assigned to 1st Marine Regiment, 1st Marine Division, Camp Pendleton, California. Staff Sergeant Ryan C. Noss, 23, of Corrington, Tennessee. He was assigned to the 9th PSYOP Battalion, 8th PSYOP Battalion Group, Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
We honor all 13 of these military young men.
Yeah, did you
who
notice?
were killed. They were all...
Nobody was over the age of 25, was
There
it?
was one that was 31.
Okay. And there you have it.
And we must never forget. And we must continue to say their names over and over, because not one time during the Biden and Harris regime have they said their names. Not one time. So let's never forget.
And let me point out one other thing that goes right back to what we were talking about before that. If you noticed, not one person was identified with a D or an R, but they were identified as what? Americans. And that's what they are. And those brave men and women stood over there doing their duty to their country and lost their lives because of that. It has nothing to do with a D and an R, but it has everything to do with the establishment and those that put them in that position. Those people and their decisions is what cost those people their lives.
All right, at this time, we're going to take a moment of silence. Thanks, everybody. Let's always keep them in your prayers and their family.
We would like to welcome our new sponsor to Is This Thing Working? So help us welcome Cornbread Hemp. Their mission is to draw on Kentucky's 250-year legacy of growing hemp, as well as the state's unique climate and soil, to manufacture the highest quality cannabis products available in America. They proudly offer full-spectrum, USDA organic CBD products with up to 2 milligrams of THC per serving. Their plants are grown in what's known as the Bluegrass Basin, which produces the highest quality hemp alongside the best bourbon and fastest racehorses. Cornbread Hemp is one of the very few, if not only, CBD brands in America who exclusively use the hemp flower to create their CBD extract, called Flower Only CBD, and they want the world to know.
Check out Cornbread Hemp by going to cornbreadhemp.com right now for a 30% off your initial purchase of any products on the website. Again, go to cornbreadhemp.com and use promo code ITTW for this special offer. Remember, you get 30% off, promo code ITTW. Thanks, everybody, for supporting our sponsors. We surely do appreciate that. We got to keep the bills, keep the lights on. Thank you very much. And we want to state that these are our opinions and our assertions. And if you agree with us, please tell your friends everywhere, wide and far, and share the show.
And if you don't agree with us, hey, man, go ahead and tell your friends about it and share our show.
Also, make sure you stomp that like button and please follow or subscribe wherever you see the name Is This Thing Working? And our podcast is available for download on all platforms like Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcast. And you know what? If you would help us out so much if you went to the podcast and downloaded it, even if you can't listen to it till later, that does help. So we'd appreciate that if you need to, listen to it later, if you can go download it, and then it will give you a notification to remind you. Also, download that Rumble app so you can follow the show, and you will receive instant notifications when we go live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Welcome to the show, everyone. First up,
As always.
Yep. Is Bannon, Steve Bannon. Please free Steve Bannon. That's enough. It's enough for us to watch, the leader of the MAGA movement to be a political prisoner. Period. It's been 55 days. We're over it. It is time. It is time for you to let him go. We're getting real sick and tired of our people being put in jail just because you don't like who they are. I'm
Yep.
just because they're ahead of a movement that you don't like, that which James already told you about this morning, how we are rising up, and they're not liking it one bit. Not liking it one bit. But what is your task and purpose today? Make sure you be informed and become engaged. And we're going to remind you what populism and the MAGA movement is all about. Well, we aren't. We aren't going to do that. No. Steve Bannon is. Listen to what he had to say.
Somebody said, though, but here's an interesting thing. Your daughter Bannon has a millionaire for a father, but plenty of white kids don't have that and will have to pay for these illegals for the rest of your life. Sir, you are horribly incorrect. It's not white kids. It's Hispanic, African American, every kid in this country. To put it by race, you absolutely missed the fundamental point. So please take out your number 2 pencil and write this down. Populism is colorblind, doesn't care about your religion, doesn't care about your gender, doesn't care your race, your ethnicity, doesn't care. Populist nationalism does not care. Doesn't care about your sexual preference, does not care. Here's what it cares about. It cares that you're a citizen of this country, okay? And the vast majority of pressure put on by illegal aliens is among the Hispanic and African American community. Why? That's why. Why is the Chamber of Commerce so for this, sir? They're not sitting there thinking white, black. It's because they're trying to flood the zone. They want the zone flooded with illegal alien labor that they do not have to pay market rates to. They don't have to pay their health care. They don't pay their education. That all goes on to all citizens, not just white citizens. So take your pencil out and just scratch through white. This is the cul-de-sac that these white nationalists get into. You know, I'm sorry if I'm hurting your feelings. You're a collection of morons because you do not understand the basic fundamentals of populism and nationalism. It is not about your race.
Right there says it all. It is not about your race. We have been talking about this for a year now.
Yeah.
About MAGA and populism and how it is definitely, we don't see it. We don't see the racism that the UNIPARTY does. You know, it's not in our DNA because we have been raised up to understand that everyone is equal. Our founders over time figured out that everyone is equal.
Exactly.
I mean, women vote now. Blacks vote. Everyone votes. Everyone gets a vote now. Everyone in America. Every citizen in America. But they continue to try to knock down the citizens. They don't want the citizens to rise up and say, hey, you have destroyed this country.
Yeah.
You know, Steve Bannon, and he has worked really hard to inform everyone exactly what populism is. But they continue to try to knock us down. And then this article comes out and it really kind of just threw me for a loop. And it says the UNIPARTY is attempting to, this is from the Gateway Pundit, this is a guest contributor, said the UNIPARTY attempting to destroy MAGA in Texas, Michigan, Florida, South Carolina, Colorado, Missouri, etc., in many states.
And you said it was a guest contributor. It's not the great Jim Hoff. It's the great Joe Hoff. And this is what Joe said. He goes, we've seen this since President Trump came on the scene. Rhinos like then Speaker Paul Ryan were behind the scenes working with the deep state to destroy President Trump. Ryan was intimately involved in the Russia collusion lie because he wanted President Trump gone. The Rhino attacks against President Trump in America has never stopped. These people hate America and they love power. They treat us Americans like they know best, and the rest of the country is insignificant. This leads to the conglomeration of rhinos and communist Democrats being referred to as the UNIPARTY, or as I'm going to call them from here on out, the establishment, because that's what they are. But we saw rhinos at work in Texas as they tried to remove one of the best state attorney generals in the country last year, and I'm going to go like President Trump. I'm going to say he's the best ever. You know, I mean, really, as far as I've seen, he's the best ever that I've ever seen.
And like you mentioned, President Trump, how President Trump has fought back against the establishment through all of his court cases, and pretty much they're all dissolving except for the September 18th, which is going to get wild. So we'll wait and see then. But Paxton, he fought back and he won, and they come with the truth. And the rhinos or the UNIPARTY does not want you to know the truth. They want you to think that they're out there working for you. Hey, we're the only ones with the ideas. We're the only ones that can run this country. You don't understand, you're not educated enough, or you're dirty, you're unwashed. But now Ken Paxton is actually going after the rhinos. But we found out what happened on Saturday in Michigan at the GOP convention. Karamo was exited out of the building. She had every right to be there. This is how the rhinos are treating MAGAs. She was elected to this position at the GOP convention in Michigan several months ago, and they're just escorting all these elected officials that the people have elected out and taking up their chairs. Now, how is this even possible?
Because we allow it, and that's the point that we're at. We have to stop allowing it. Another example in Florida this past week, grassroots MAGA Republicans lost in primaries where mail-in ballots were dropped at the last minute. A good note that the MAGA Republicans are Trump's base and a supermajority in the GOP. Any results where they don't win are questionable. I mean, just like we've talked about the poll last week that Elon Musk put out on Twitter. And at that point, and this was before the RFK Jr. announcement, at that point, out of almost 5.8 million people, almost 6 million people voted, and it was a 73% Trump to 26% Kamala. I dare say that number has risen higher. So yes, in my mind, any MAGA candidate that loses right now, especially in the state of Florida, is questionable.
It's amazing. In South Carolina over the weekend, more anti-MAGA establishment corruption occurred. MAGA Republican Keith Blanford reported. He said, so the establishment was truly terrible yesterday. They blocked our motions and resolutions to force them to recognize the RNC decision for reinstatement. They blocked my nomination as an elector, and they placed a rhino as third vice chair without anyone in the state voting for them. It was a very bad day.
Yep. Another example is Representative Hanks from Colorado. MAGA Republican Ron Hanks in Colorado, he shared this following with us also. He says, as detailed in the article regarding the removal of Karamo, there is an effort this very day to remove the Colorado GOP elected officials and put in the retread rhinos. It is outside of the rules and illegitimate, but it's succeeding so far. And at the unauthorized meeting, they have made a quorum, changed the rules, and voted out the secretary. They're currently working to remove the vice chair and will then remove the chair. All three of these elected officials are MAGA. What is transpiring should not hold up in a court of law, but it could, given the weaponization.
And it goes on to say Trump had an opportunity to get some very solid allies in the U.S. House. Johnson, the Speaker Mike Johnson, snuck in and has three very anti-Trump candidates in 4 of the congressional races Republicans might win. They may only win 2, possibly 3, if elections are not manipulated beyond credibility of the low information public. If Trump wins, he will have little to no support from the Colorado delegation.
Do you see what they're doing? This is not a DNR thing, guys. This is an establishment thing. This is what we battle.
Yeah, and in Missouri, more of the same after state rhinos attempted to remove the MAGA delegation from the GOP convention. It's out of control. They are doing, because they know they can't win without having their people in there to cheat these elections.
And here's something else that we've noticed over the weekend that was brought out. This is something just reeks of corruption. If it's not corruption, it looks exactly like it. But Mike Johnson's running uncontested.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike Johnson is part of the UNIPARTY, and he was on Fox this morning.
In his House race?
He just makes me sick.
Yeah.
But another example of what they're trying to do, and they're coming out after MAGA, all of a sudden it's just become, okay, we might not be able to get Trump this way, but what they want, folks, is down ballot races. They want the House and they want the Senate so that they can force Trump to not become president. They're going to do everything they can to cheat to get across and make sure that the Democrats hold the House and have the Senate. It's going to be insane.
Yeah, and let me tell you how desperate they are. They're so desperate that this is what they're back to doing. This is a month after the assassination attempt on President Trump, and everybody was supposed to tamp down the rhetoric. They're right back at it. Here's Senator Cory Booker on CNN.
And what I know this election can do is finally kill that strain of the Republican Party in a way that I think helps the pragmatic Republicans come back.
Pragmatic Republicans.
Kill that MAGA strain.
You know, they
the
just want the
Republican
pragmatic
Party.
Republicans who will vote Democrats. That's all they care about. You know, they don't care about the people whatsoever, and they tell you about it. But with the RFK Jr. Coming out on Friday with his wonderful speech that he gave, it was like an hour long, and
he just
ripped the press. He ripped the Uniparty. He ripped everybody because he's a Democrat, and he is a diehard Democrat. And he partnered with President Trump. That's bad for them. But he came out with a statement yesterday or over the weekend, and he explains what MAGA really means.
This is what he said, and this was a tweet from yesterday morning, like she said. He said what MAGA really means. The phrase has troubled liberals who think it is a call for a return to an America before civil rights, gay rights, women's rights. But I have a more generous interpretation, one that is truer to my experience of Donald Trump as he is today. Make America Great recalls a nation brimming with vitality, with a can-do spirit, with a hope and a belief in itself. It was an America that was beginning to confront its darker shadows, could acknowledge the injustice in its past and its present, yet at the same time could celebrate its successes. It was a nation of broad prosperity, the world's most vibrant middle class, and an idealistic belief, though not consistently applied, but it was an idealistic belief in freedom, justice, and democracy. It was a nation that led the world in innovation, productivity, and technology, and it was the healthiest country in the world. I have talked to many Trump supporters. I have talked with his inner circle. I have talked with the man himself. This is the America they want to restore.
That's it. And that is what we have been telling you this whole time. MAGA is not the boogeyman. MAGA will make America great again. Even more powerful than it was before. Even more stronger than it was before.
More innovative.
More
educated. More healthy.
More.
Yes.
I mean, that's all we want. We want every American citizen to be a part of the American dream. It doesn't matter what color you are. Just like Steve Bannon says, it does not matter. But them bringing in these illegals right now, they're taking away your America. They're taking away your American dream right now.
Exactly. Are you an entrepreneur looking to turn your passion into a thriving business? With Shopify, it's never been easier. Shopify is the all-in-one commerce platform that empowers millions of businesses worldwide, from startups to global brands. With Shopify, you can build a beautiful online store, manage your inventory, and process secure payments all in one place. And it's not just for online sales. With Shopify Point of Sale, you can sell in person at markets, pop-ups, and retail locations seamlessly. Plus, with 24/7 customer support and a vast library of apps to customize your store, Shopify has everything you need to scale your business. Ready to make your mark? Start your free trial today at Shopify.com and join a community of entrepreneurs who are turning their dreams into reality. Shopify, where the world shops.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. Please click that link below. And we also going to have another link in there today for our Shopify store. We have opened a store. It's called ITTW Merch Store. You can find it on Shopify. And we're going to put the link below on the #1 t-shirt that we're selling right now. It's a Trump Vance t-shirt. We're really excited about it. So please check us out. President Trump came out this morning and he was at Arlington National Cemetery honoring the 13 dead American soldiers. He came out with a statement also. He said, "This is the 3rd anniversary of the botched Afghan withdrawal, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Gross incompetence, 13 dead American soldiers, hundreds of people wounded and dead, Americans, and billions of dollars of military equipment left behind. You don't take our soldiers out first, you take them out last. When all else is successfully done, Russia then invaded Ukraine. Israel was attacked, and the U.S. became and is a laughingstock all over the world. The fake news media remains silent in order to protect the worst administration in the history of our country. MAGA 2024. And I agree 100%. Have you seen or heard of Biden or Harris whatsoever down there honoring the dead?
Not at all. Not at all. Do you know all they care about? This is all that they care about, man, is power and control. It's all they care about.
I know. We just discussed that with you, what they're trying to do just to knock the people out. They're going to continue to do this. And why I say that is we're going to continue to talk about how they're trying to take over this country, take over you, and allow you not to have a voice. I mean, listen to what the Attorney General came out and said over the weekend just to poke at you about our elections. Listen to what he had to say.
I guess as a follow-up on Scott's question, if you're sitting in these hearings with prosecutors and judges at the courthouse down the street. They're increasingly expressing concerns about the upcoming transfer of power and the potential danger of another January 6th. Do you share those concerns at all?
I think our prosecutions have made clear what we think about people who try to interfere with the peaceful transfer of power, which is an essential and fundamental element of our democracy. I quibble about whether we have 1,500 or slightly less than 1,500, but we have way more than 1,400 now prosecutions, and we have a substantial number of convictions. I think that's shown to everybody how seriously we take an effort to interfere with the peaceful transfer of power. The last January 6th, the coming January 6th, and every January 6th after that. I want to make clear to anybody who is thinking about interfering with that, they can see what we've done with respect to the January 6th prosecutions, and the Justice Department will continue to protect our democracy.
Oh, man.
So basically what he's telling you is don't interfere with our interference.
That's exactly right. And he's also telling you that January 6th was the day that, went down in history as the people stopping the transfer of power. But when does power actually get transferred?
Yeah, it's not January 6th.
It's January 20th.
Yeah.
So why is he all of a sudden saying the transfer of power is on January 6th? Well, I got something to say about this. This right here, this January 6th, you've heard all of, you heard Kinzinger and you've heard of Raskin coming out and saying that on January 6th that they're going to stop President Trump with a House and a Senate that will be behind them. Because, see, they go into power on January 3rd. And January 6th, if they have the House and they have the Senate, they will not. They will do exactly what they claim these people that were there January 6th are doing. They will stop the peaceful transfer of power because President Trump will win. And they want the House and the Senate so they can make him not be president. This is where they're going, folks. They tell you what they're going to do right in front of your face. They're going to stop the transfer of power on purpose because they don't want to lose power, and they know that the people are fed up with them.
And Garland mentions the J6 prisoners that are still there being held without due process, being held in a gulag prison illegally, being held as political prisoners, and he brings them up.
And they're still being arrested right now.
As though he's going to intimidate you to not do anything about it. I hate that son of a bitch, man.
Oh my gosh,
I'm telling
I hate
you,
every one of them.
I hope
they're all
President
sickening.
When President Trump comes into power, I hope these are some of the first people that they throw into a jail cell.
They need to go to jail, and
swear.
that's one of the reasons why they're threatening you. Because if President Trump and the people finally make it and manage to force their way in, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to come down to that. I know this for a fact. They're going to stop it. And the censorship isn't going to stop. Nothing is going to stop. They're going to keep on and keep on. You heard what happened in Europe this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, I have a Gateway Pundit article, by the way. Telegram founder Pavel Durov faces court appearance following arrest in Paris. Now, there's a lot of people that use Telegram, and he has refused to bow down to the establishment all over the world. This is a world thing. This is a global movement to stop their people, our people, from stepping up. They're going to do what they're going to do. One world government is what they want.
Yep. And they arrested Durov, the Russian-born founder of Telegram, at a Paris airport. And sources told the AFP that police detained the Franco-Russian tech billionaire Durov at a French airport. And this is part of a probe into claims of fraud, drug trafficking, organized crime, promoting terrorism, and cyberbullying. Durov is now set to appear in court. And this shows just how far these liberal authorities will go to smear a digital innovator who vows to bow to their control.
Who refuses.
Look, people, America is the last place on this earth that we've got life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is the last place on earth that, as of right now, we have the best modem of free speech we can have.
And you want to know something, folks? What doesn't get talked about enough at this point is that we fought the British. We fought Europe. We fought hard to become our nation, to become a free nation. And now they're taking it away.
Our entire nation was founded on us going, hey, government, F you, man.
That's exactly it. Right. And they don't want you to remember or to know what our Constitution is all about. Our Constitution is about freedom from tyranny, from everybody. We stand alone. We stand as the beacon for the rest of the world, and they hate so much that America did that. So they have spent many, 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 many years trying to take us over because we need to be under their thumb. They've hated it for almost 250 years now. They've hated it.
We're the last place, man. Is this thing working?
Rise up.
Well, hey, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope you've learned some things about what's going on around us in the nation and in your communities. You know, we couldn't do this without your continued support either. We appreciate all of you showing up, taking the time to listen to us today. So please, like I say, make sure to hit the like button, share our show with all your friends. We'll see you next time on Is This Thing Working? And as always, I'm James, and that's my lovely co-host over there,
Denise.
and we'll see you next time.
We're out.